All right, guys. Welcome to today's section. And in today's section, we'll be talking about exam success strategies and advice to prepare for your exams, no matter the kind of exam, be it GRE, exit exam, whatever form in your school. And then, first of all, the first thing we must know is you must understand the exam, not just the subject, the exam entirely. And before anything else, students should understand the following: the exam format. Is it going to be MCQ, multiple choice questions, structured essays, practicals? So you must understand the type of exam you are going in before you can even begin to prepare and practice for it. Now, you must also take into consideration, this is very important, most people don't even think, they don't want to, let's just go into the exam. But this point is also very key if you are preparing for an exam. The marks distribution. Which topics carry the most weight? Where do you need to focus more, your energy, and all of that is very important. Then time limits per session. You must work with time. You can't just go into an exam and work arbitrarily. No, you must plan these things. Planning makes the whole difference. And then you must also look at common question styles. What is the style of questions in this exam I'm going into? And the key idea is you don't just study maths or physics or any other subject. You study the exam pattern. That is what matters. You study the exam pattern. Guys, keep this in mind. Now, after this, understanding the exam, the next thing you must focus on, active practice. Not passive reading, not just picking a book up and just read along and passively. No, you must study actively. Active practice. Now, if you read your notes or just watch solutions, it's not enough. Especially where you're dealing with mathematics and physics, you don't read, you don't just skim through. You solve questions. The things you must do when studying, you solve questions daily. You must put biro to paper, not opening a video you all watch through and you believe that no, you will not get it in depth. Solve problems, solve questions daily. Secondly, redo past exam papers multiple times, as much as possible, because most times the patterns of this exam repeat. It may not be exact questions, but the pattern. Once you know how to tackle the questions in a pattern, you can apply it whichever way the questions come. So you must practice, you must redo past papers multiple times. Another thing I will advise my student is to practice without looking at solution first. Now, when you are practicing this past paper, none of them will come with solution maybe at the back or beside questions. Most persons, you will deceive yourself by looking at the question, the solution, and then you are now working towards that solution. Yeah, it's a way of practice, but I will advise you first, practice, solve problems without looking at the solution first. Then when you get it, your solution, then check, did it align? If not, then you now see how it is done. If it does, then that means you have already captured that solution. It is going to remain with you because you solved it on your own without even first looking at the solution. Now the rule here is, if you can't solve it alone, you don't know it yet. If you can't solve this problem alone, you don't know it yet. If every time you need to solve a problem, you must check the solution, then you don't know it yet. Okay, let's move on to the next point. You must use past paper as the main revision tool, which I have said briefly on the last point. And these past paper are the closest thing to the re-exam. Yeah, they're the closest thing they are a prototype of what you have to expect. So the best approach is to do papers on that time condition. You time yourself. If the exam is supposed to be an hour, yeah, you can do 50 minutes or even 45 minutes, or at most the 1 hour. Don't go beyond the exam conditions. Time yourself, and then mark strictly using schemes. When you finish the exam, you mark yourself strictly using script. Don't begin to cheat. You fail a question, you quickly correct it so that it will make you look good that yes, you passed. No, this is just you and yourself. Tell yourself the truth, mark strictly, and give yourself the marks you deserve. Then keep an error notebook of mistakes. Have a notebook where you record your mistakes from time to time, and this will help you track your progress. And then the goal here is this: learn from mistakes, not avoid them. You don't avoid mistakes. If you have made a mistake, learn from it, don't avoid it. Now let's look at the next point. You must master the basics first. In studying for exams, you don't just go in. For example, you take a topic like calculus. You don't just go into the deepest part of the topic, the hardest part, and start. No. You start from the basics. Learn the basics, the basic principles of the topic. Then from there you graduate. Gradually, you build on it until you become perfect. Now, most people lost marks because of weak fundamentals. Most of the marks we use are as a result of weak fundamentals in the topic. Simple algebra errors, units of conversions in physics, you don't know them. These are ways you lose marks. Formula confusion, you don't know, you can't remember some formula. Poor graph handling, you cannot plot graph properly, you cannot interpret, you can't draw your scales. So these are the fundamentals you must familiarize yourself with first before you even think of going further. Now, strong students don't do everything. They do basics first. If you must be a strong student, an A student, a first class student, you must do the basics perfectly. You cannot you cannot just negotiate this. It's not negotiable. You must do the basics perfectly. Now, the next thing we need to do is to train exam timing early. Train exam timing early. Now, you must train for an exam early. You must start your training early. You don't rush this. You time it and train for it early. Time pressure is a major cause of failure. Now, you must train yourself with the timings of the exam, basically. Now, if the exam is 1 hour, train yourself to last an hour for that exam, or even less. That will help take away pressure. Because pressure in an exam is a major cause of failure. It's a major cause of failure. Now, practice one question. These are the tips here. Practice one question per fixed time limit, and then your full papers on that exam condition. You practice the full paper on that exam condition, and then moving on when stuck. When you are solving a problem, you are stuck, you move on, leave it. You don't waste all your time on one problem, whereas you could use that time to solve others. When you are done, you still have enough time, you can come back and revisit the one you couldn't finish. Now, the rule here is this: don't let one question destroy the whole paper. You cannot stick to just one question. You are trying to solve it, you just want to get it right, and you are destroying the whole paper. You are wasting all the time. It will not reflect well at the end of the day on the exam. Now, the next point here is to learn to show workings clearly. As a student who is preparing for an exam, one thing you must have in mind is how to show your working clearly. We know there are a lot of shortcuts and tricks here and there, but when it comes to an exam, especially when it is essay, you have to write a practical session or an essay part. You must show your workings clearly. It is only in objectives you can apply tricks to cut short your time and get your answers quickly. But for essay, you must show your workings clearly. You should write the steps as follows. Write the steps clearly. Label your diagrams properly. Use correct units consistently. I cannot overemphasize the use of units, especially when it comes to physics. These exams are basically unit based. Now, you cannot write a number 10 You are like G equals to 10 and move on. Who understands what that is without a unit? G could be anything. It could be money, 10 kobo, 10 euros, $10. But until you tell us that is meter per second square, before we now say, oh, we are talking about acceleration due to gravity. So units are very important. Now, for physics tips here, listen carefully to this. Diagrams often carry free marks. When you do diagrams, you stand a chance of getting free marks from graders. You get a lot of marks there. So do not underestimate diagrams. Make sure you draw them in your physics exams. Now the next point is to look at a way of building an error log. As I said earlier, you must document your errors. So every mistake should be recorded in your process of rehearsals or practice for an exam. What went wrong, why it went wrong, how to avoid it next time. So you must have this. When you have this log, this error log, you are able to turn your weakness into improvement points. You cannot just keep on making the same type of mistake over and over again. You must be able to track your error, ask yourself what went wrong and why it went wrong, and then find a way to avoid it next time. And that makes you a good student and a student. Now, the next thing is to revise smart, not hard. Revise smart, not hard. You avoid reading everything. You cannot realistically revise everything, especially when it's very close to the exams. You do this fast and smart, not the hard way. Now, what do? Use formula sheets for you to have an active recall process. Create a formula sheet, flash questions, self-testing, and I also try teaching others. This is a very powerful tool that most students underrate. Now, in my time in the university, I use this tool very well, teaching others. I took it upon myself to teach others in my circle, in my class. Not for money, I wasn't being paid, but just by teaching others, I'm reinforcing my knowledge within myself. So at the end of the day, it becomes easy. I don't even need to read hours anymore because I've taught. That period of teaching, I'm reading double. So the best revision is also equivalent to recalling, not reviewing. That is the best type of revision. Now, you control your exam anxiety. That is our next point. Our exam anxiety is a major killer for students. And the simple technique here is simple. Deep breathing before starting. When you get to an exam and you are giving your question, you breathe deep. Take a deep breath and then breathe out. Release the pressure before you start. And then you skim through the questions and see what is there for you. Now, whenever you see a hard question that is difficult for you to tackle, always skip it and return later. Do not waste unnecessary time on any question. Now, do not panic over one difficult question. Don't panic. When you panic, if you have a way of influencing or affecting your responses or your approach to the other questions, which may not be difficult, which may be easy. So do not panic, just leave it and return back later when you are done with the exam with some time left. Now, the reminder here is this: one hard question is normal, not a disaster. If you have a question that is difficult, yeah, it's normal, pretty normal. We are humans, you cannot know it all. Yeah, one question that is difficult is normal, not a disaster. Just leave it and come back later for it. Now, again, our last point today is sleep, food, and energy matter. These are the very ingredients that most students ignore: sleep, food, and energy. Now, because of the problems students have with this aspect, especially for sleep, comes from the fact that people don't prepare on time. You don't start your preparation for an exam on time. You wait till the last minute. Exam is next week. You want to start preparing this week, and you have a full syllabus of courses to study. How will you do this? So then I start reading all night, no sleep, no rest, no time for food, your energy is drained, and this is crazy. I'm telling you, you are going to be exhausted. I invigilated an exam recently where a student was practically sleeping on his papers. He was confused. I met him as a young man. What's wrong with you? What is the problem? He said he came from the classroom where he went to read, or from his room where he was studying all night. He just came all night. He studied all night and came to the exam. He didn't even have time to bathe, to brush, to freshen up. He rushed into the exam from reading and he went blank. He was looking at his paper. He couldn't remember anything he had read because he has deprived himself of sleep, food, rest, which is very vital for any exam. Now, you sleep before exams. When you sleep before exams, it improves your recall. Your brain is able to recall, and that is why this is possible because you have prepared already before now. So your brain cannot recall when you sleep and then wake up to an exam. Your brain can recall. Avoid cramming all night. This is dangerous, guys. This is dangerous. I tell my students all the time, avoid cramming all night. It will destroy your recall mechanism. When you miss just a point, every other thing goes blank. We have had a lot of students who have experienced this, and it's not really good for you to cram all night. Study, prepare for your exams early. Start early, and at the end of the day, you'll be the best for it. Eat properly on exam day. When it's an exam day, eat properly. You need all the energy. You are going to an exam hall where you will be tasking your brain. You will be putting your brain into work, into active duty. Now your brain needs a lot of energy, a lot of food and oxygen is needed in the brain to function. So you need to eat well on the day of your exam properly so that you have the required energy you need to succeed, to come out successful. Then stay hydrated. As much as possible, stay hydrated. Don't be dehydrated. Drink a lot of water and be ready for the exam. Now, a tired brain makes avoidable mistakes. When your brain is tired, you need to make all kinds of avoidable mistakes. And this is what I tell my students. Try as much as possible to be in your best mode on the day of exam. And as a way of a final message, a final advice for my students and everyone watching this video, exams don't reward perfection. Have this in mind. Exams do not reward perfection. They reward preparation, calm thinking, and consistency. You must prepare, you must think calmly, and you must be consistent. Now, I tell my students all the time when I teach, before I start any class, I'm beginning of a session, of a semester, or whatever, and I get to my class, I tell my students, advise them, these are the techniques I use and it worked for me. Whenever I start a semester as a student, my studies start that very day. Every class I've been taught, by evening, I study, I revise what I've been taught and prepare for the next day. So I don't have backlog of items to read or books to read, backlog of materials to study for exam. I read as the classes progress. 2 hours a day. You can even start with 1 hour a day as a As the exam draws closer, you now move to 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. By a week to an exam, I stop reading. I don't read anymore. I do fun activities, play football, relax, watch TV, because I have prepared. In that last days, if I need to do anything, just minor skimming through, minor revisions, just look through any loose end, catching it up a bit, and then I walk into my exam prepared, calm, and in the right frame of mind. So when I get to an exam, I do my exams and I come out well. So this is my advice to you: prepare for your exams early. Examinations reward preparations, and calm thinking and consistency. Be consistent, and I hope that this advice will go a long way in helping our students who are preparing for forms of exams in this period and even beyond. Will enjoin us to stay with us. If you like this video, you can share with your friends. You can subscribe with us so that when more comes, you will get more ideas on how to succeed as a student. And also, kindly like the video, and see you again in our next episode. Bye bye.